house that is haunted.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the very first episode of our new podcast, which is called Two Sides and the Truth.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're here. So those of you that are not familiar with us, we have a current podcast going on, and we'll talk a little bit more about that coming up. But with this current podcast, we have discussed a lot of things. It started off as a singles podcast. Ironically, I wasn't single. I was definitely dating someone and
keeping it on the down low.
I wasn't that down low.
I'm just kidding.
But Al, I was on Al Mack from the Kid Craddock Show's podcast. I still am. I'm his co-host on The Third Wheel. And when we started, it was called Let's Be Single Together because Al was very much single. And he needed to come up with a podcast idea, and that was what he went with. And he had a different co-host, and it didn't work out with the two of them. And so one day, Al and I had become friends. And he was like, Zada, you're great with stories. I would like you to come over and do a podcast with me and just talk like you normally do. Like when you're just talking to me at a table and we're friends. That's what I want. And I said, well, what's your podcast about? He said, being single. And I said, well, that's weird because I'm not. And he goes, I don't care. I want you to talk about whatever's going on in your life. I said, okay, cool. I'm in. So I had never listened to a podcast prior to that. So I agreed to be on this podcast, which is nationally syndicated. I guess that's the word for it. But he's with a big network, obviously. He's very important in the radio world. Mm-hmm. I sell concrete and construction supplies.
And you do a dang good job at it, too.
Thank you very much. I'm the only woman, usually. And so I was like, all right, cool. So we go in there, and I just talked about me and my life, And it went really well. Well, he was like, can you invite your friends? It's about being single. Do you have friends that are single? Because he's not from the area. Who do you know? So every week I would invite a new friend, mainly my best friend, Kelly, who is here. Kelly.
Hello, it's me.
And Kelly did a great job, and we had a pretty good thing going. And Al got a girlfriend, and it no longer made sense to be called Let's Be Single Together because
nobody was single.
And people were calling it out on our reviews on Apple because they were like, none of y'all are single. I want to hear about single people.
What the heck, man?
Dude, totally agree. And I would tell Al that. I was like, we've got to change this name if you're going to keep me. Because every week he was like, come back. I need you. Come back. And I would just come back. So finally, he changed the name. We made Amy, his fiance, now wife, a member of the podcast. So we didn't need that third person so much anymore. It became The Third Wheel, which is now the current name of it. And but we missed having the third wheel. Like we liked having the extra people and the personality. So when Amy can't make it, Al always has me invite. He always asks for Kelly, and if she can't make it, I bring another friend. And because we're a good combination. And so that's progressed to what it is. I've had a lot of requests from listeners for our own podcast and for Kelly in particular. So that's what this is. And Al's given us our blessing. We are recording in his studio next door to his bar/restaurant in Waxahachie, Texas, called Down the Hatch. So that's what we're going to do. About once a week, we're going to leave a little recording for you, kind of give you an update into what's going on in our lives. You're going to get a little bit more of the same kind of content you got before we became The Third Wheel, when we were still called Let's Be Single Together. And not so much singles content, more just funny stories and dating stories, whatever kind of stories it could be. But it's less about us in particular and more about people we know and just life in general.
Yeah.
With a little bit of us mixed into it. So that's what we're going for. And so seeing that's the first podcast, we have decided to kind of change things up and make a little bit of a format. And so we're going to introduce y'all to our format today. And so there's going to be a few little segments we're going to do. So the first one is called Bless Your Heart. And if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, this will not shock you. I'm known for it. And so my Instagram is ZMamacita. And my Facebook is Zada Owens. If you want to follow me on either one of those, I'll be glad to let you join. I've had a few people that have followed me from the other podcast on Facebook and been like, oh my God, this is your personal Facebook. I didn't realize that. It is. It is totally my personal Facebook. I'm really an open book, pretty much. And I have nothing to hide. And so, yeah, you're right. It's my personal Facebook, and it's pretty funny because I'm stupid as hell. I just say the dumbest stuff. So laugh at me if you want to, get annoyed with me if you want to, but join me as well. So we're going to do a little segment called Bless Your Heart, because I'm kind of known for blessing everyone's heart. During this segment, I'm going to explain really the Southern alternative meaning to Bless Your Heart. Occasionally it means I'm literally praying for you, but typically it means we need to work on some kind of life skill problem you got. And that's what we're going to talk about. And it could be my own, because I am the queen of blessing my own heart. And then Kelly's got a little segment. Kelly, want to tell us about your segment?
My segment is going to be called Lady in the Streets. And I want to be able to talk about just all of the situations that I find myself in while I'm out and about. Girls' night, karaoke, just going out. We have all these situations that we get in with people, and we have physical contact and unwanted physical contact. And just, I want to be able to talk about the different situations that come up when I'm out and about, and then also be able to get other people's perspective on what they have to deal with, good, bad, everything in between. So yeah, that's what I want to do.
All right. And Kelly, what is your Instagram?
Oh, my Instagram is Kelly Lady Pearl. And that's all that I have. I do not have any other social media. I don't have Facebook.
She's not into the social media world.
I don't even really do Instagram all that well. I want to be able to have some kind of content that people can look, and be able to see, oh, that's what she looks like. And okay, this, she's still alive, I guess, because I used to have a Facebook back in the day, and I actually had a lot of friends. I'm not bragging or anything. I'm just saying. But then I just went off the grid, and it's what I wanted to do. And I've kind of always lived my life that way, but I was just really dedicated to it and not having any kind of social media. And I haven't for almost a decade now. And that I've actually really used it. But Instagram I have, because I want to be able to help, plug our shows and, gives people some
an idea of what they're dealing with.
Yeah. I mean, I think it is good, because that's what I do whenever I do not know somebody and I want to at least figure out what they look like. That's what you do. You go and you look for, their social media.
Absolutely.
And so I would like to have something that people can, look up, and, other than that, you're just gonna have to go off of whatever Zada or my other friends post about me.
You're just gonna have to trust us. Good luck. So another segment we have coming up is called Phone a Friend. And this is where we're going to call a podcast listener of ours. And thankfully, we have a number of podcast listeners from my other podcast that will, I'm sure, join us and be part of this one. And
yes, please.
Yes. And I mean, it's really funny because when I started the podcast, I guess it's been about a year and a half now ago-ish that I started doing the other podcasts. I started having these people that would follow me, and they're very much like me, a lot of them. And
that's awesome.
And when it's Facebook, it's different, because when you have a business account, you can't really see their post.
Yeah.
You might see someone else is following you, but that's all you can see. But when it's your personal account, like it's my personal account, I can literally follow them.
Yeah.
Like they're following me. And I find it so interesting. There's one listener, Amy Probst. I'm saying her last name wrong. I'm sure it's
Bless your heart.
P-R-O-B. Bless my heart. It's like P-R-O-B-S-T maybe. Amy. And Amy's amazing. And
we love you, Amy.
I do. I enjoy following her. She's super creative, and her home's amazing, and her husband is amazing. And
Aww.
she decided she wanted to stain her back porch with turquoise glitter.
That's awesome.
And he did it.
I want to see it.
And he didn't question it, and he did it. And then he said, I don't think that's enough glitter. Do you want me to put more glitter down? And she said, yes, I do.
Winning.
Because you can't get enough turquoise or glitter. And he did it. And so we've decided to do this little segment about phone a friend, a.k.a. a listener, someone like Amy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes.
I can't wait to talk to her. I hope she wants to.
I'm telling you, she will.
Oh, great.
And she's really interesting. And so we just kind of talked about it, and Kelly and I decided we definitely want to include some listeners in this. So we're going to do some phone a friend. So we're going to have some questions. We're going to give you a heads up, get your phone number, call you ahead of time. If you're someone interested in having us call you, then message us on Instagram or message us on Facebook. Probably me. Kelly's not so great about checking.
I mean, I'll try.
Again, it's Zada Owens and it's Z Mama Sita.
Y'all get a hold of Zada.
And message me. I always answer back, and unless you're some creepy guy. And other than that, I always answer back. I particularly love it when the ladies message me because I have just met some really cool ladies.
We love the ladies around here.
We do. And I am a pro woman's woman. And so the next segment we're going to have is called Ask the Audience.
Ask the
Kelly?
audience, we are going to actually go over into Big Al's Down the Hatch, which is right next door to this recording studio. And we are going to pick somebody out of there who is willing to come over and just answer a quick little question or give their, 2 cents on a topic real fast. And that's going to be awesome. So hopefully sometimes we'll see some friends over there that will pull over. Maybe we'll just like grab an interesting person and ask them, hey, are you willing to come over and just answer a question real quick? And so if you are ever at Al's and we are recording and we come over, just know that and you can come up to us if you recognize us and that's what we're doing and you're like, ooh, I want to go. Yes, that would be awesome. So we'll tell people like, hey, we're just we're recording our thing over here. Would you like to come over and just like get in on this? And I think it's going to be great. I would love to have like the different perspectives of everybody out there.
I feel like it's like TikTok. Like if anyone watches TikTok, you see there's just like these really entertaining, interesting people out in the world that have no ability to put that out there.
I know. And we met that lovely lady just walking in today to record. Oh my gosh.
We did. We were walking in. We rode together here from my house and we were walking in and this lady had this really beautiful purse. And so of course I'm like, oh my God, I love your purse. And she's like, thank you. I got it here. And then we start talking to her and we let her know what we were doing. It kind of came up in conversation. We were like, we're going to record our first podcast together and, kind of explain to her the situation and hopefully she listens. And that's kind of what we want for the podcast. Yeah. Just very natural, genuine conversations because
with anybody we meet. If we were already on the way in here and I would have pulled her in there here and be like, just real quick, we're just going to ask you a few questions.
If we already been unlocked, but I was a little late with the key. Then yes, we would have. And that's what we want is that genuine truth, and that's one thing with the other podcasts is, Al, I mean, I'm sure a lot of y'all are Al's listeners and Al, I love him to death, but he does not like to plan the podcast. He likes to just, I'm going to call it free balling it.
Yeah. We wing it.
There is no plan what we're going to talk
just
to about.
Around naked.
I've shown up for the podcast with a third wheel with an additional person that he did not know even their name before we got there. And he was great with it. And that we're not going to free ball it quite as much. But we are going to, we do want it to be very organic like that. And that's what we're going for.
Yeah.
So now that we talked about kind of what to expect, the other thing is to kind of get you to know a little bit about us, since this is the introductory podcast. And there will be more of this where it's just us talking, whatever. Obviously it's a podcast. But tell you a little bit about us. So Kelly, what do you want to tell them? We made an introduction where you're going to get a little intro to us every week so you know who you're dealing with. But this is a little bit more in depth of what you're dealing with. Kelly, would you want to start or do you want me to start?
Oh, I can say a few things. I mean, I want people to kind of get a picture of who I am. So I am 33 years old and I was born and raised here in Texas. And I've lived in this little tiny town of Waxahachie, which is getting to be not so tiny anymore. No. That's why I moved away. And I keep moving further and further away as things get more busy and more busy.
She's now about 25 minutes south.
Yes.
I guess you would say south.
Yeah. And so I'm very much a small town girl. I like small town. I like not hearing traffic. I like hearing farm animals. Like that's what I want to go to sleep to. So you have to get pretty far out of town to accomplish that these days. So, but I love Texas. Texas is so big. There's plenty of space out here. I mean, you just got to go keep driving.
You just got to be willing to drive.
Keep on driving.
Well, and I'm in Waxahachie, and this is a small town about 25 minutes south of Dallas. We are the beginning of the country is the best description I can give. We're the first small town, country town.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up
We were
here.
gatekeeping for a long time.
We were, man. They found
but
out.
It's out. Yeah. Cat's
it
out
used
of the
to
bag.
be, I went to high school in Red Oak, which is a small town just north of us, which is also, it used to be a small town. I don't consider it a small town anymore. And I lived out in the country in a small town called Rocket. So tiny, they didn't have a school, so they had to bus us into Red Oak. And half the town went to Red Oak and half the town went to Waxahachie. And I now live in Waxahachie, but I am smack dab in the middle of Waxahachie. I almost could walk to this recording studio. I'm so close.
It's
I could
such
walk.
a great location.
Yeah, it is a good spot. I'm in a good spot. But I grew up in the country, so it's very weird for me to be in town. It's just beneficial with my children right now. I have 2 kids still left at home. And, It's interesting because I have lived in very large cities. I've lived in Houston proper. I've lived in Dallas proper. I've lived in Plano and McKinney, which are north of Houston, which if you look that up are the growingest most cities, and they were then. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I've lived in Kingwood, which is outside of Houston. My family is from San Saba. I've lived there. I've lived Austin. I was born in Austin. I lived in hippie communes in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and in Mississippi, Natchez, Mississippi, to be precise. I've lived an interesting life of hippies and cowboys. And so that's what we're talking about. And you'll hear a lot about ranch life. You'll hear a lot about Texas oil. You'll hear about rattlesnakes and rivers. And I really enjoy the true Texas atmosphere.
Yes.
I will throw on a pair of boots with my shorts and head out the door.
And have a bathing suit underneath.
I will have definitely, because if you come across a good river or creek,
I'm in it. I'm in it.
I know you are. You're my side.
I don't even ask other people if they're down. Like you just look over at me, and I've got half my clothes off already. Head to the water,
even if there's no pool.
No, yeah, exactly. Even if I'm not supposed to be in the water, I just wait till nobody's looking.
That's a true story. And this is how we're friends, because I laugh all the time because she will text me and she was like, I'm coming over. I'm like, cool. She was like, I'll be there, whatever. You want to go swimming? Yeah. Like, no discussion about where. We're going to figure something out.
We're going to find some water.
It's going to be a lake. It's going to be a creek. It's going to be a river. It's going to be some pool. It's going to be, pool's the last choice.
Really, it is most of the time. But I don't ever turn down a pool party, though. Like, if you're like, hey, you want to come over and swim?
Yes.
Right now?
What am I bringing? We're Southern. What side do you need?
Right.
You mean make a dip? What you got? And that's how it's been. And one of the things that we talk a lot about, and if you've listened to us before, is my family is from the Hill Country, which in Texas is Central Texas, and it is in the middle of the hills, which is why it's called the Hill Country. And it's beautiful out there. And we have a family homestead on the Colorado River, which is the longest running river in the state of Texas. It is a red river, so it's not like the clear, beautiful Guadalupe. It's got a little more red to it, so it's not as clear, but just as clean and beautiful.
It's so nice.
So nice. And we have this cabin out there, and we have girls' weekends, usually more often than this summer. This summer, I took a little break. I had some things I had to take care of, so I didn't have as many people out. But Kelly went out.
We still had some good time out there.
Well, you made it.
I still got to go.
Kelly always, she's got an open invite. And basically we do a lot of like talking about those girlfriends and those trips and those kind of visits. And if you are a woman's woman, you understand where I'm coming from. And this podcast is definitely for men and women. It is not aimed just towards women. But I do think you have to be a special kind of man to listen to it.
Yeah, I agree.
You got to be open to listening to like women talk, and you want to learn from it. And just like we would learn from you if you were talking about man talk, which we will be having men on.
And I like to hear man talk, well, depending on what they're talking about.
Right, exactly.
But either way, you really do. You get insight, you get, a different perspective. And I'm all about perspectives. I love hearing other people's opinions on things, even if I don't agree with it. I mean, it's nice to know. And log that away.
That is one thing with Kelly and I. So there is 15 years age difference between us as friends, which I don't know that everybody has that. I think that's probably a little unusual. I will say that when I was Kelly's age, I met a lovely woman named Teresa in Houston, and she was about 15 years older than me. And she was my mentor. And I'm not going to say I'm Kelly's mentor. We're maybe a little equals. But Teresa really mentored me, and she helped me learn to cook better. She taught me like cleaning things and child stuff. And there's a lot of stuff she just brought to the table as a friend that I didn't have from my other friends, because my other friends were a little bit more like Kelly, where they were free spirits and didn't have children. And here came this woman that was 15 years older than me, and I just thought she hung the moon, and she did. And she taught me a number of things, and I learned from being her friend that age means nothing when it comes to friends.
Oh no, it doesn't.
She was a huge important person in my life, and at the same time that she was my best friend in Houston. That's when I moved to Houston when I was married. And she lived 2 blocks over from me. We had kids the same age. Her younger of her 4 were the same. The younger of her 4 were the same age as the older of my 4.
Oh, wow.
So we had 15 years age difference, but she was where I am right now.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Yeah, it was really cool because it was 15 years ago.
And I think there is so much that you can gain from having a friend like that, and especially at that point in your life. I mean, that's a big milestone in your life, and so I think that is a lot of the reasons why I tend to have some older friends is because I love the wisdom and the perspective that they give, even if they're not trying to, even if they think, oh, there's nothing to learn from me, there always is, because you've lived something I haven't. You have a different perspective than I do. And that's one of the reasons I love our friendship so much, is because you have such a different outlook on things, because you have kids and you have your home and you have your responsibility. And here I am. I have zero responsibility.
No, let me tell y'all. I just have to tell you, she lost the key, or we lost the key to my house. We don't know what happened.
It was a joint effort.
She had a key to my house, and it's gone now. And so she kept coming in, and I'm like, "How'd you get in?" And there's a window.
There is a window
that you have to climb into.
You have to climb over your balcony,
over my balcony railing into a window with a floor below it. Like you're gonna fall to your death.
I would not die. I would hurt myself.
This girl has been crawling in that window, and I mean, I'm gonna give her. And so one day I didn't have my key.
I'm gonna get in. If I need to get in, I'm gonna get in.
My kid lost her key and took my key, and I went home from work early that day for unexpected. And I get home and I'm like, I don't have a key. Like it hit me, I didn't have a key, and I was like, I guess I'm gonna have to pull a Kelly, and I did.
You did.
And it was so scary.
You know what? I'm really glad that your upstairs patio has a lot of foliage coverage, because I can just imagine what people would be thinking seeing me climbing into your window.
Well, I made you another key. I keep forgetting to tell you, you do have a new key.
Yay! Here we go.
Right. There it is. Applause. Remind me, and I will give it to you when you get back to my house. But yes, I have made you a new key.
Thank you, Zada.
You're welcome.
I'm probably still going to climb in through your window.
Probably will. One time she climbed into my window recently in the last month. She climbed into my window, and my son was napping on the couch in my bedroom.
Literally right next to the window. His head was right next to the window.
Like 6 inches. And he never knew she was there.
Nope.
He didn't hear her come in, nor hear her in the room.
Nope, nothing at all.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I've also one time climbed in through your window and the door was unlocked. But I didn't check it because I was so used to just going through the window. And I'm like, man,
damn it. Yeah, so y'all don't break in because it's going to be locked now.
Oh, man, that's true. I shouldn't. We're going to have to lock that window for sure now.
No, you got a key now. I got you. So that gives you a little glimpse into it. I got to tell you, I had another friend in Houston that was also about how much older is Deanna than me? 13 years, 12 years of Deanna. You're going to hear this one. She listens.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And she was my friend in Houston, too. And she was my coworker. She was the assistant manager, I believe. I mean, it's been a minute. In the store that I was a store manager, they brought me. I'm just transferred in the same company from one location to the other, from Dallas to Houston. And so I get there and I meet her, and Deanna's amazing. And this woman just taught me so much about life. Just not just about being a manager, but about being a mom and a woman and a wife. And we were both married with kids when we met, and we both since then divorced. And we've been friends probably 17 years now, probably. And I met her. And, you meet somebody and your gut just is like, this is my person. Like, this is someone that needs to be in my life.
Yeah.
And I met her and I was like instantly just like, I love this woman.
Just
like, she's just amazing. She was strong.
That's how I felt with you.
Well, thank you. That's such a compliment because I said, well, you too.
Yeah.
And our friendship is funny. You'll have to tell that story next. How we met.
I definitely will.
And so I met Deanna and I was just like, this is a strong, smart woman.
Yeah.
And I need to be her friend. And
I want to be her friend now.
You would love her. She's in Houston. Deanna, just come on. Her daughter goes to North Texas.
Yeah, I want her
done
on here
now.
too.
Her daughter Maria's done with college now. But anyway, so Zoe, my oldest, and her daughter Maria become buddies because we're buddies. And I'm going to tell this one little story. And so Maria, who's now like probably 23, my daughter's 25. So Maria's 23 or 24 now. And for Zoe's birthday, I think it was her 5th birthday, Zoe's like, I want to go to the mall for my birthday and I want to do this and at the mall. And I'm like, okay, you can pick a friend. We'll take a friend.
Nice.
Maria. I want Maria there. Cool. Got you. So we take Maria to the mall with us. And Maria's like 4. Okay. And the cutest damn kid.
Oh
I mean,
my God.
she's stupid cute. Still to this day. Beautiful. And so we get out of the car and it's hot. It's Houston. Zoe's birthday is July 12th. It is hot. It's the hottest day of the year.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 120. We get out of the car at the mall. And Maria, 4-year-old little tiny self, she turns to me. She goes, Jesus Christ, it's hot out here. I'll never forget this moment. And I was like, okay, little Deanna.
Oh, they have so much sass at that age.
I was like, it is hot out here. She goes, I know, girl. I know. I will never forget. I just laughed so
great.
hard. I was like, you're so ridiculous.
Oh, man, I love it.
Yeah. So that is Deanna in to a T. Like that is the woman, but in her miniature version of herself.
Isn't that the way it works? Like you birth yourself?
You do. You
Yeah.
do. Yeah. My daughter yesterday,
That's
Zoe.
why I never reproduced.
Yeah, good luck. Because 25-year-old child of mine, Zoe,
Oh my
she texted me last night, and she is the assistant manager of a Coyote Ugly. And you know how they dress and how they look. You know Coyote Ugly. And
You know.
Yeah, and she's all that. She was a bartender there before. She was an assistant, whatever. So she still has to dress the part. So she gets dressed, whatever, and she sends me a picture. She says, I dressed, this is my version of you, a.k.a. 1991. Hair and everything, Mom. What do you think? How to do? She totally nailed it.
Oh, wow. I need to see this picture.
I will show them to you. I laughed so hard, and I just thought, how funny is that? Like, these kids are so funny. So it's nice because we get this perspective where here I am, the mom of that adult that's doing that. And then I have Kelly, my best friend, who's not much different than that. Nope. And so that's kind of what you're getting here. You're getting a little bit of everything.
I love it. I think that's wonderful. I think it's a perfect combination.
I agree.
It's very interesting. Anyway, like, I mean, we get a lot of attention when we go out together.
That is very true.
And it's the package deal. It's the combination. It is.
It's like rock and roll and country. Like if you've ever heard that song, he's a little bit rock and roll and I'm a little bit country. What, the Osmonds? That's the Osmonds. Mm-hmm. I'm the country and she is the rock and roll.
And it's such a wonderful combination. I love it.
It's pretty funny. If we do go in public, it is pretty entertaining. And, and
I always felt like you were that yin to my yang. You know what I mean? Because when I saw you at Rocket, you were a waitress, you're a cocktail waitress.
Yes.
And you were the it thing. Okay. You were so awesome at your job. Everybody loved you. You were always like social butterfly. You were always looked awesome, and you were just slinging drinks and just being your bad self, and it was awesome, and I loved it. And I was like, I need her.
I worked at a local bar here in our little small town, and it is literally when I was growing up in Rocket, which is this tiny town between Waxahachie and Red Oak. And when I say tiny, I mean we had one church at the time. Now there's two. We had one church. And we had a gas station / cafe / deli / gas or cafe. What's the word? I'm like grocery store-ish.
Yeah.
And this is the 80s. I mean, it was there before that in the 70s too. But I moved there in 1980. And I could go in there and be like, I could drive my mom's car down there when I was about 12 and put her cigarettes on her tap. So if that puts it on
life
perspective.
right there.
Yeah. I could go down there and be like, my mom had some cigarettes. And they'd be like, girl, I got you. No questions asked. None. Nothing. Didn't call her. Nothing. We got you. And since then, it has become a much larger cafe with great food, but it's and a bar. And so when I got divorced 15 years ago, I needed a second job. Like I just, I needed that extra income after a divorce. And I got a second job at this local bar. And I worked starting off 3 nights a week on top of my regular full-time job. And the money was really good. I'm not going to lie.
I would imagine so.
I made ridiculous money. And so then I needed to be home more. The kids got older. Things came up more. And so I went down to just 1 night a week. And I picked Thursday nights because it was bike night. So all the bikers were there.
Oh, those were the good old days.
Those guys would tip.
Gosh.
And it was a Thursday night. So I still had my weekends to myself because, every other weekend I was kid free and I was single. So I was enjoying myself. And so I started working there, and Kelly was one of my customers.
Yeah, it was the perfect combination of karaoke and bike night. And oh my gosh, that is how you get me. And I was like, this is my spot. This is my new spot. I had just moved back to Waxahachie from Greenville at that time. And I had friends that I grew up with because I grew up in Waxahachie. But I moved my senior year. This was the first time moving back. So
you were gone a minute.
Yeah, I was gone quite a long time. And I looked nothing like I looked before. Okay.
Right.
I had lost weight. I had grown my hair out really long. I'd covered in tattoos. I definitely did not peak in high school. So I would see people who I knew if I even went out and they wouldn't know who I was, So I was like, I got to make some friends. And so I was on a mission of finding a spot, becoming a regular, finding some friends.
Right.
And maybe a boyfriend. So, and
maybe one of those.
And when I met you, I met some other awesome people out there. Like I have some really great friends that I've made through karaoke and, going out. But I knew I was like, I have to be her friend. But you were always busy. Like, of course, you were on your A game. You're like running around, running that place. And so I would wait for you to have a minute, like have a break. You would go outside or whatever. And I'm like, go in and I'm like, okay, hi, how's your night going?
So funny.
How you doing? And just slowly we would talk more and I would say hi to you. And then I finally.
Guys would send her drinks. She's usually the most attractive lady in the bar. I'm going to put this out there. She is usually the prettiest lady in the bar.
You're so sweet.
It's true. And so men bought her a lot of drinks.
So you were coming over to me a lot.
There was no other woman in the bar that got the amount of drinks she got ever. The entire time I worked there, 8 years.
And you would even ask me, you would be like, this guy's buying you a drink. Do you want a drink or do you want me? And I would be like, no, you can just like bring me some water and just like.
Yeah, we would just put it on her tab for future drinks.
You got this.
Yeah, because she had enough drinks because enough people had sent it. And so, yeah, that's how we got to know each other. And then she was like, we're going to be friends. When are we hanging out?
I finally worked up the nerve and was like, I need your number. We have to hang out outside of here. Like, this has to happen.
And our first friend hangout night was a Tyler Childers concert, which that's pretty cool.
Yes, that was like great.
If you don't listen to Tyler Childers, I highly suggest it. He's literally my favorite singer. And so I got free tickets because my other best friend, Mary, worked prior to COVID for a music venue in Dallas, and Tyler was playing, and he was a big deal then, but he wasn't the big deal he is now.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty small venue, and she got me free tickets, and she was like, come in and, whatever, and I guess to anyone you want to. She was working. So I was like, cool. So I called Kelly. I was like, let's go. Let's be friends. And we've been friends ever since.
Yeah.
That was our first night.
That was a great christening night.
Was
we spent
so
the
great.
whole night jamming out, dancing.
We
left there and went another place. Where did we go? To Mama Tried?
Mama Tried. It was their opening weekend.
Yeah.
I think it was their opening weekend, which was right around the corner. We were parked right behind Mama Tried, so we just stopped there kind of thing. And Tyler Childers and his band and the opening band had decided they were going to go play a free show at Mama Tried. So we got to see him twice.
Yep.
In the
It was
same
great.
night. It was fantastic. And that was our first soiree into friendship. And since then, it's been many road trips and cabin, river. She never says no.
Nope.
Which is really funny because that is something hard to find. So when I'm like, it's something stupid, I'll say something really stupid. Do you want to go walk across this field and pick this flower that in 1987 I saw there? She's like, let's go.
I'll pack a lunch.
Can I tell you how many times I've taken her to the graveyard where my mom's buried and she had to watch? Stupid. I'm like passing Jack Daniels around my mom's grave, and she's like, "Cheers!"
Yes,
like no questions
I'm
asked.
that person.
So that's what you're gonna get from the podcast. Just to give, this is our introductory episode, and I hope y'all enjoy it and you like it, you share it. I think we're gonna average about 40 minutes an episode ish. On our Third Wheel podcast, it's about 35 minutes.
And you can give us your insight too. If you think we should go longer, we always can.
Or if you
Man,
have
we
more,
can talk forever.
What do you want us to talk about? What's
Yes.
your feedback? Because
Give us some feedback. I want to hear it.
I particularly want to hear it from the listeners that follow us from the Third Wheel to hear, because they know us.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to hear what they want to hear about, because this is more us and we have a little more creative control. I'll definitely control the other one, which is great. Obviously, he's an expert at what he does.
Yeah.
He's so supportive of everything with
Yes,
me. And
we
with
love
us.
you, Al.
We do. And so because, but this is a different entity. It's a different direction. And he was excited about it for us.
I'm so happy. That makes me so happy.
When I asked him, I was like,
That
hey,
warm, fuzzy feeling.
this is what I'm thinking about doing. He was like, get it. Yeah. So, with that being said, I would definitely like feedback on what you want to hear, or and you can message me again on ZMamaCita on Instagram, or on Zada, Zada Owens on Facebook, or you can message Kelly at Kelly Lady Pearl
Kelly Lady Pearl. LadyPearl. And that's on Instagram.
I cannot promise she'll message you back.
No, but hey, give it a try. I mean, I do get on there every now and then. I've been trying to, but I'm so bad. I just don't do social media good. But I do know how to like post a picture. I know how to do that. So every now and then I'll get that done. But even like, I even don't like smartphones. Like I don't even have a smartphone, so I can't like take a picture with my phone and then use my phone to upload it to Instagram. Like I don't have that.
Well, first off,
I have to.
She's using a flip phone currently. I'm just going to put that out there.
And I
lost her iPhone in the river at my cabin.
Yep.
And decided she didn't need a phone. And then after she was pressured, she decided maybe a flip phone.
I was heavily pressured.
You were.
It's kind of like, do you know when like you go out with your friends and they're drinking, but you're not going to drink, and it's a big deal because everyone's like, why aren't you drinking? Like, why, like you can't just not drink. Like that's crazy. Same thing. If you don't have a phone, people are like worried about, why don't you have a phone? You have to have a phone. You need to get a phone. And I'm like, why do I have to have?
So she has a flip phone.
Okay. I caved and I got something that I could do literally the least with. I can call and I can text.
I sent her links. She was like, girl, I ain't getting that. What are you sending me?
I can't even have like a
show me when
message.
I come over.
I can't even have a group message on there. Okay. That's how limited I am. And I love it. So I have to have friends send me pictures to my email, and then I can because I do have a computer. I have a whatever this is right here for work, and I'm using it for this too. And so I can get it off of my email if I have my work laptop, and then I can post it onto Instagram off of my work laptop.
This is where we are in life, y'all.
I know, but hey, I'm trying. Okay, so if you messaged me on Kelly Lady Pearl, or you add me, I will go add you back. Because it does pop up and it shows you people, right? It shows you and you click it, and then it shows you who just added you, and then you can click on them, and then you can add them back. And I can do that.
All right. See, so y'all do that. Y'all follow it, and you're gonna get more out of Kelly on Instagram. You're probably gonna get more out of me on Facebook, but it's just me being stupid. Like you might not like it.
Well, what's the difference between that and this?
I do a lot of like stupid comments about grocery shopping. I'm really good at grocery shopping, y'all. I got a new refrigerator today. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm definitely posting about that.
I knew you were going to bring that up. You've been so excited all day.
I am so excited about my refrigerator. I also replaced my this is what y'all have to look forward to, so get excited. I also replaced my fryer pan, like my electric skillet. Which, Kelly, my red electric skillet I have taken with me many times to the cabin.
Oh, yeah, that's a staple.
Well, I've killed it 3 times. I'm on my 4th one. It's Texas size. It's the biggest, best one.
Biggest, best one.
And I posted about that today because I was pretty excited about it. I'm not going to lie. And I let everybody know to go to HEB to get it because I want everybody to share my joy because it's the best electric skillet ever.
You do a really good job at like promoting things.
I like to, yes.
You're awesome at it. Like tell them about, you've talked about, well, not on here, the pepper people at the farmer's market.
We have a little,
That's fun to say, pepper people.
Pepper people. Okay. I don't have their name in front of me, but, so Waxahachie, small town USA, not as small as it used to be, has a farmer's market. And in the farmer's market, there is this family that has a little like farm, and they sell like fresh vegetables, but they also sell like homemade jellies and homemade like peppered canned items. So it can be like any kind of canned item you would buy normally, or you would see, or you would want, like okra, or I don't know what kind of canned items. Anyways, one of the items is a spicy / sweet red pepper. It's a red pepper, like a hot pepper.
A red pepper
sliced up, and it's sweet too. It's spicy and sweet.
It's amazing
freaking
on
good.
Everything. It's good on everything.
Everything.
I could probably put it on an ice cream, and I'd probably like it.
You would. And
vanilla
I
ice
would
cream.
I'd put it in whiskey. I'd put it in
you
vodka.
Can garnish.
I put it on my
with
sandwiches. I put it on cream cheese and dip my crackers
Just
in it.
stick it straight on a tortilla chip.
All the above. And so I go in there and I buy this. And my mom used to make something like it. And my mom's passed since, in the last 10 years. And so I saw it and I was like, that looks like what mom used to make. Let me try that. Just see. Tried it. Loved it. So I go in the local little you know, how every small town has their Facebook page, which I probably will be talking about on the Bless Your Heart episode because there is a lot of Bless Your Hearts on that. And it's so ridiculous. And so one of the things, so I posted on that local page, I was like, hey, y'all go down to the farmer's market and pick up these red peppers. They're amazing. This is what I'll eat them on. I love them, blah, 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 in a picture. So didn't think anything of it. I got some feedback, but, you know, I didn't think much of it. And so I go back about 3 weeks later. I go back to the farmer's market because I need to re-up because I've eaten half the jar and I gave the other half to a friend because I loved it. So I needed to re-up. Mm-hmm. So I go back to get some. They're like, we're all sold out ever since you made that post. They didn't even know me. They go, you're the one that made the post. I was like, I am the one that made the post. So like, we love you. And thank you. And so all these people have been coming in. So they've sold a ton of them. So they said, well, come next week. I've been coming and they're out of them every time I go now.
Yeah.
So
they're a hot commodity now.
Yes. And so they were like, come next week and we got you and we'll put some to the side. And they did. And I have 2 jars now and I'm excited. I will be using them in something this week. Come over.
Well, let me know. I'm going to
make
there.
some beans.
I'm going to climb in the window.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so this is our first episode. When we say the name is Two Sides and the Truth, we're going to be discussing exactly that. 2 different opinions on something and then kind of come to the truth in between.
Oh, hey, and I want to tell them our email too. So if you have ideas or if you can't get a hold of us on Facebook or Instagram, it's 2 Sides and the Truth all together, and it's at outlook.com.
Yes, please send us questions or
you can send us random stories. Well, I want to be able to do little tidbits of just like insert and you can put your name or it be anonymous, like send me something and we'll read it and we'll discuss it.
If you give us your phone number, if you send it and you want to talk about it, send us your phone number. We'll call you on speakerphone, we'll give you a call. And you'll be part of the podcast.
Can't wait. I can't wait.
I cannot wait either.
Somebody be my friend.
Anyway, so that's it for the first podcast, the first version. This is the first episode. We need to write this down. It's monumental.
I'm so excited for us.
I am too.
Look at us. High five.
High five. There you go. Y'all can't see the studio.
And thank you to our studio audience for coming out all the way out here to support us for our very first episode. Y'all are amazing. Oh, yes. Thank you, guys.
Ellis County, thanks for showing up.
all of it.
Some of them are from Red Oak, Midlothian. They're not all Waxahachie. I know that one over there is definitely from Midlothian.
Yeah.
It's the Loafers. That's what gave it away.
It's okay.
Yeah. The one in the very back, Milford. You can tell by the boots.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyways, y'all have a great night and tune in next time. And glad to tell you 2 more sides.